Chapter 9, The Forest Mission, 4. Luc 9:1 Man is prone to error because of his mortality and because his earthly habitat is compounded of matter apt to lead him into evil ways. He is directed by destiny and subject to laws he cannot break, so the freedom he enjoys is largely a delusion. Escape lies in only one direction, which is upward, and this upwardizing is called the road to spirituality or the true way. Mortal man is enslaved to the demands of necessity, but this is an essential quality of earthly life which prepares for the enjoyment of the greater freedom beyond. Luc 9:2 Like a sleeping man in hostile terrain, the slumbering soul spirit is defenseless and exposed to attack. Good and evil spirits exert influence upon it and, unless stirred to wakefulness, it cannot discern one from the other. From the moment of its conception into mortality, the soul spirit is subject to influences operating under the law of affinity, which either attract or repel. These move to the irrational soul spirit center of sensitivity where they set up throbbing impulses, which move like ripples circling outward, seeking compatible responses. These movements are under the administration of destiny, Luc 9:3 just as the body has rational and irrational centers. So with the soul spirit. The rational part of the soul spirit cannot be dominated by spirits, either good or evil, without its own free choice. This is the part not naturally inclined to evil and more receptive to the ray-like impulses from the sphere of the Holy Spirit, Luc 9:, for the lives of all are ruled by a preset destiny. But whatever this entails, each must rise above it, for destiny is the challenger, the handicapper, and the test selector. The soul spirit alone can be freed from the domination of destiny, the mortal clay cannot. Therefore, the designs of destiny should be left to work themselves out solely in the mortal flesh, Luc 9:5 My friends, I am asked, what is the soul seed, and whence does it come? Above all is the Supreme Spirit surrounded by the soul sea, below, which is spirit and, lower still, matter. The soul seed is a drop from the soul sea, which has been separated out and become encased in a shell of spirit. It descends through spirit and returns there, and may do this many times. What flesh is to the soul spirit, so is spirit to the soul seed. Luc 9:6 The laws of the Supreme Spirit cannot be evaded, but man has, within himself, the ability to rise above them to greater freedom. He can, of course, choose the downward path and surrender instead of struggling, but as he descends so does he become more subject to restriction, more the plaything of forces beyond his control, more like a windblown leaf. Freedom lies at the end of the upward road, not in the depths of matter. Luc 9:7 The true evils in the world are all man-made, even disease and sickness originate in the evil tendencies of men. Evil can reach out even from the midden in the sphere of the Holy Spirit and strike at men. But did this not originate in their own wickedness? Here are generated unseen evil things, which become parasites in the susceptible mortal flesh. They are indescribable in words, and there is no way of making them known to you, yet they exist even as the soul spirit exists. Unseen and mortally unknowable, Luc 9:8 My friends, the world need not be a place overrun with evil. If men could only cleanse the unclean garments of their minds, it could be a place of unceasing joy. Men bear the burden of their body with unintended sadness. They are like a man living in an empty tomb, who shrinks from the bright sunlight outside. The longer he hesitates, the whiter and weaker his body becomes. Men still choose to ignore the message handed down through the ages. Luc 9:9 So, my friends, we make little progress. Man looks around him, hopefully, seeking inspiration from distant places, when all the time, everything needed lies to his hand. The ancients spoke wisely when they said, that which lies nearest is hardest to see. The ancient wisdom is as fresh today as it ever was. It is just as applicable now as it was then and will never grow stale. Man places too much faith in things he can see and grasp, while unseen things give rise to disbelief and doubt. Yet, his whole life is dominated by unseen things and forces beyond his knowledge. Luc. 9:10 The only rock, to which man can cling with faith and assurance, is the unshakable ancient wisdom contained in the good books, the only thing man can strive for with certainty of benefit is goodness. Man can travel the road to perfection, but it is endless and discouraging. The road to truth is wearisome and full of pitfalls. If you asked for one rule to guide you safely, I would say, ignore the authoritative voice of the body, and listen to the quiet whispers of conscience. Luc. 9:11 Now, you ask whether the unclean soul spirit, degraded in darkness and humiliated by remaining in the substance with which it has an affinity, ever resumes life in worldly form. It may indeed extend out into the brutish body of a man, or into one more graceful though heavily fettered by destiny. To say that any soul spirit is completely reborn in a new body is not strictly true, though it may manifest again on earth. Rebirth is accepted by those who worship the great goddesses and by some others, but it is a much more complex matter than they believe. Their assertions are clouded by ignorance of the true nature of the higher sphere and the laws governing birth. There is, however, some truth in the doctrine, which is much deeper than they suspect. Luc. 9:12 Nature models the earthly containers into which the soul spirit descends. She molds them according to a prescribed pattern and adheres to the spirit plan drawn by destiny. She likewise molds the bodies of animals and birds, though here the pattern is general and not differentiated by destiny, as it is with man. Chapter 10 The Man-God. Luc. 10:1 The reaches of the sphere of the Holy Spirit and the sphere of matter and mortality are not without limitations, though within each there is everlasting change. The godlike divinities worshipped by man have their abode in the sphere above, and unless formed only in the imaginations of men, are no more than superior soul spirits. Least among these, though greatest among men, is the godlike man called man-God, the ideal towards which we all should strive. Luc. 10:2 The man-God is candidate for a godhood within the reach of every man and has special God-like qualities of goodness and spiritual strength which set him apart from ordinary men. He is the strong runner in the race of life and one who never withholds a helping hand from the laggard. Such men are rarities indeed, yet they are destined rulers of the world, the vanguard in the march towards godhood. Their day will come as surely as the sun rises above the treetops. Luc. 10:3 The virtue of the man-God lies in his strong tendency towards goodness and his keen sense of judgment and justice. He knows when to stand firm and when to give way, and when to say, "This is enough." Notwithstanding this, he always inclines towards peace and reconciliation, even in the face of accusations of weakness. He knows it is the weak man who accuses another of weakness, and the man unsure of himself who has to be reassured by a spate of his own words. Luc. 10:4 For the man-God treads with soft footfalls, but he steps from mountaintop to mountaintop. He prevails by reason and example and not by force, for he is a natural leader of men. Though I abide by the teachings, I cannot see that it is wrong to honor the names of great men who inspire loyalty and obedience, and who restore peace and justice. I would let the very names of the man-gods ring out to fill the wicked with dread and the righteous with contentment. However, while the true man-God is not recognized among the world leaders and not even sought for high positions, Perhaps it is best, the day of the man God will come, and the nation which honors him will be raised above all others. But it is for the nation to bring forth the man God, and not for the man God to bring the nation,